how's it going? I want to come in here and continue with the Gemini and Cancer readings for December. So we're going to do Bones and Charms reading for both Gemini and Cancer, and I will be providing timestamps later for some people who just want one or the other. So I'm just going to go ahead and check our sound here with the Gemini. Make sure our sound is good. It looks pretty good. And also make sure that we are going live publicly on Facebook, because sometimes it'll change the status from public to just friends. So I like to kind of make it open for everyone. Just want to make sure we do that real quickly. But yeah, I hope everyone is well whenever you tune in and see this, day or night, wherever you are in the world, all that good stuff. If you celebrate any of the holidays coming up in December or January, happy holidays. All right. I am getting over a little bit of a bad sinus infection. So if I start coughing or sneezing or needing to blow my nose, just bear with me and please understand. But you might be able to hear it a little bit in my voice too. But hopefully we are on the mend with all of that. So anyway, I want to go ahead and get started for Gemini and see what is coming in for Gemini for the rest of December and maybe even into some of January as well. But basically, this reading will find you whenever it's supposed to, because time is fluid and relative. And so whenever you see this reading, you may find a message within it. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do that sound bell. And if you're sensitive to sound, just feel free to turn it down temporarily a little bit, because it can get a little bit loud, but hopefully it won't be too loud for you. And you can, again, turn it down if you need to. All right. So thank you guys for your patience and understanding. So this is going to be for Gemini for December 2024. All right. So I forgot to say before, but part of the reason that we do the sound bell is to clear the energy from the bones and charms from previous readings, for you guys to take a couple of deep breaths and just kind of tap in, and for me also to clear my energy to make sure that I'm delivering you guys the messages as clearly as possible, and all that good stuff. All right. So we'll just go ahead and put that aside here. But yes, everyone is welcome, regardless of where you may have Gemini or Cancer in your individual birth charts. And so you can be a Gemini sun sign or Gemini rising or ascendant, or you have your moon in Gemini or in Cancer, or even in other placements as well. So always feel free to check out your full placements to kind of see what messages may resonate more with you, may be different at different times throughout your life. So you may be a sun sign Gemini, let's say, and then you have your moon in Aquarius, right? Or so then maybe you need to watch your Aquarius or read your Aquarius horoscopes too, depending on what's going on in your life. So again, it kind of is hard, I guess not hard, but it took me a while to realize that each of us are all the 12 zodiac signs in different ways, and different degrees of those signs, of course. So that's why it's kind of cool to look at your individual birth chart, which they have lots of different ones that are free online that you can get, and kind of go over and see what all those things can mean for you. And again, depending on what's going on, in your life at that time, you may resonate more with one than the other, so to speak. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and shake and cast the bones and charms here, like a little preview, right, of some of them. So when I do that, it does get a little bit loud as well. So feel free to temporarily turn the volume down if you need to. But that is the way that I have to shuffle the bones and charms, so to speak. All right. So again, thank you guys for your patience. And spirits, please guide my hands, please. Messages for air sign Gemini for December for their highest good. Spirits, guide my hands. What does Gemini need to see? What does Gemini need to know for their highest good? Spirits, guide my hands. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini for their highest good. For December, messages for Gemini for December for 2024. More. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini for their highest good for December. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest good? Messages for air sign Gemini. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini for December 2024 for their highest good. All right. Spirit, guide my hands, please. Messages for air sign Gemini for their highest good for December 2024. Spirit, guide my hands, please. Messages for air sign Gemini for their highest good. What do they need to see? What does Gemini need to know? Spirit, guide my hands, please. Messages for air sign Gemini for December for their highest good. Spirit, guide my hands, please. Messages for air sign Gemini for their highest good. Air sign Gemini for December. Air sign Gemini for December for their highest good. Spirit, guide my hands, please. Messages for air sign Gemini for their highest good for December. Spirit, guide my hands, please. Messages for air sign Gemini for December. All right. So I'm just going to turn back a little bit of the ambient music. Put some of our bowls over there. And then before I pick up the camera and show you guys everything more up close in detail, I am just bringing some of them that have kind of fallen off the mat a little bit closer, so it doesn't change their meaning. It just makes it easier for you guys to see as we go through the reading. But basically anything that falls outside of the black mat and onto this white part is going to be energy still in those sections, but basically in the past. Okay, and we'll go over the different sections in just a minute, but basically we have spiritual unconscious section, then we have work and money section, we have relationships and love section, and then we have body and mental health section. All right. And so a lot of times too, there will be some crossover energy. That was so interesting the way it fell like that. I'm going to try to put it back exactly. If it wants to work with me. No. All right. Come on. Okay, I got it. Yay. Okay. Now what else can I flip over real quickly? And then after I finish doing this real quick, before I take the camera down, before I bring the camera over, since it's already down here, I do want to find out where Spirit wants me to start this reading, because they're always a little bit different. So in a few minutes, I will just kind of hover my hands over and again see where Spirit wants me to start the reading. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, so before we take the picture and move the camera, let's find out. Spirits, please guide my hands. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Spirits, guide my hands. Where would you like me to start this Gemini reading? Spirits, guide my hands. Where would you like me to start this Gemini reading? Excuse me. Spirits, where would you like me to start this Gemini reading? Pretty strong right there. But I also want to move the bowls over a little bit because I don't know if they were in the way. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know if they were in the way. But yeah, let's see here. And if you don't feel comfortable being here, you don't have to be rude to other people's spiritual beliefs. You can just go ahead and leave. So thank you, Kentucky James, for showing your ignorance and your own negative energy. So please just go. There's no need to be a troll. All right. Thank you. And love and light to you. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Where would you like me to start this Gemini reading? Spirits, guide my hands, please. Where would you like me to start this Gemini reading? Right there. So it was like kind of in between these two areas. All right, so I'll show you in a second. But basically we have the Norse symbol for protection over here. And then right over here where it's also being drawn, the energy from my hands is in the spiritual unconscious section, right where we have the symbol for Saturn and also the water charm. So let me just show you guys everything here real quickly now that we've kind of determined the 2 points of where they want to start. So again, the first place where the energy was drawing from my hand was in the relationships and love section. And so that is pretty much where we are picking up that energy. Okay, so it's relationships, it's all types of relationships. So it's basically romantic, platonic with friends and family, and even self-love. Okay, and then the second place where my energy was drawing from my hands is over here in the spiritual unconscious. All right, and so that is about your own intuition, right? What you feel deep in your gut and what you feel when you are alone or when you're sleeping. Okay, is another way to say it or look at it. And so the energy was also being drawn over there very strongly, and I felt it in the beginning as well, where we have the symbol for Saturn here and also the water charm. So I think we're going to go ahead and start in this area first, because of what I'm seeing throughout all of the bones and charms so far. And I do want to take a quick picture in just a moment, but yeah, just give me a second here, guys. So let's see, we are going to just get a picture here in just a second. Okay, 1 second here, guys. going to worry about it right now. Okay. So let's go ahead and take our picture. And make sure we get all of the elements in there. All right, so I'll be posting that later to my Facebook page when this live is done for some people who want to look more up close in detail at a later time. All right, but yeah, as we can see here, when we're still pulled all the way out and you can see all these different sections, the majority of your bones and charms this month, Gemini, has fallen into the work and money section, and your relationships and love. Okay, there's still stuff going on over here. I said work and money, but I didn't mean to say that. I can't see the words because they're covered. I meant to say your body and mental health is where the majority of your bones and charms are, and in relationships and love. Over here with work and money, there's still some stuff going on and a little bit in the spiritual unconscious, but not so much as what's really going on over here in these two sections. And then of course you have the things that have fallen outside of the black mat and into the white mat. So those are still in those individual sections where you see the dotted lines. It just means that that's energy from the past. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. We said we were wanting to start here, and then we'll kind of work our way back in the past energy in this section. But yeah, basically what I can see here, Gemini, throughout the month, or even, beyond that into January or even into the past, before December, right, is that Saturn could be making a lot of you guys, let me just turn that down, a lot of you guys a little bit more emotional at this time when it comes to your spiritual unconscious or your intuition. So Saturn is earth energy, right? So Saturn is like Father Time. He comes in and he tells us we need to get organized, we need to pay our bills, we need to be more serious and mature about things. So when this Saturn charm falls into the spiritual unconscious section, it's really about getting more serious in a spiritual standpoint, right? Because we're not necessarily in the work or money, we're over here in the spiritual unconscious. Okay, so if you're, like I said in the beginning, if you are a sun sign Gemini, or you're a rising ascendant Gemini, or you have your moon in Gemini, or wherever you may have Gemini in your chart, that earth moving energy, as opposed to you being Gemini and air sign, is really going to make you slow down. Saturn makes us slow down. And sometimes if we've been ignoring certain emotions, they're going to come more to the surface when we slow down. So a lot of times too, when people say that, especially where we are here in the US, as we move into winter, right, is that like it forces us to slow down because we're not outside as much, so we're inside, so then we kind of go within. So sometimes this can make the emotions come more up to the surface. Okay, and so this could be something collectively here, Gemini, or just also how you're feeling it. But here with the turtle too, there's definitely a need to go slow with this energy, and to kind of remain flexible too, because we have the dog ankle bone over here as well. Okay, and then here we have one of the human teeth bone. So it's like someone, either you yourself, Gemini, or another person, multiple people, or kind of just your general environment situation, has really been chewing over, or will be chewing over and digesting these things that we're talking about here. Okay, and so there's also something possibly here to do with being by water. Okay, it can be very healing. It can be talking about traveling, more in the spiritual unconscious sense, like when you're dreaming, but it doesn't have to be. It could also just be in the 3D physical world. Something about being by water is going to be really healing for you. But we also have these other things that are right on the line between these two sections, but that still go in the spiritual unconscious section. Okay, so here we definitely have the chair. Okay, we have part of one of the first raccoon penis bones going that way, and there's a more aggressive approach or go-getter approach in the 3D physical world, okay? So there's definitely energy that's showing up too that crosses over into the spiritual unconscious. So the spiritual unconscious. So it could be like, again, something to do here with Saturn as far as getting more serious, getting more organized with something within the spiritual unconscious here. Now, this could also have something to do with within the home, wherever you consider your home, where you live, right? But it could also be about where do you feel spiritually and consciously at home, okay? And so that's definitely something that's showing up here as well, and getting more serious about that. Now, as we go this way, the nutmeg is a symbol for abundance, okay? Usually associated with money, but not just money. It's all forms of abundance or whatever it is we want in our life. So because it falls on work and money, it could still be money, but we're seeing how it applies to also the spiritual unconscious, okay? And so here what we can see is that there is some type of spiritual unconscious wish that is also, it's like half spiritual unconscious and half about work or money or finances or being valued. For some people who no longer work or don't necessarily have to worry about finances, which would be nice, right? It could also be just how are you valued, right? So we're paid a certain amount of money for a certain type of work, right? So it's also about values here. So there's something about the spiritual unconscious and work and money values that there's a big wish for that, and it could have something to do again about the home, okay? Or where do we feel at home? Now, hey. Shh, Cleo, no. Sorry, guys. So before we, continue to move forward that way, I also want to see what is going on here in the past in this section. So the first thing that we can see are the listening bells, okay? So it could be that someone here in the past started to listen to some type of spiritual unconscious messages, listen to their intuition in some way. And that's really kind of influencing what's going on here in the present current energies in the black mat. Now, as we go this way, it's really interesting. So both of the skulls that I have here in my kit showed up in the same section, okay? And they're both in the past. So where the skulls are can tell us where someone's mind is at, or where it was at since it's in the past here, or where it will be at if it was in the future, current, present energies, okay? But basically the spiritual unconscious being heavy on Gemini's mind here, even in the past. So again, Gemini, this whole reading could be about you or someone else, one person, multiple people, your kind of general environment situation. But basically what I'm seeing here too is that there was maybe a lot of challenges in the past here with the mountain charm. Okay, so climbing difficult, terrain, right? Climbing up a big mountain, okay, is really difficult as opposed to just, walking on flat land. So maybe there were some spiritual challenges going on here in the past. Some of this could have even been further back in the past lives area because of the mermaid here. But what I do like to see, also that's within that dotted line that we can see here, is like roughly right here, right? Is my skeleton hand here is a symbol for passed on loved ones, friends, family. It could be spirit guides, ancestors, basically any energy beyond the veil, that is good, positive energy that is looking out for you, right? So when I see that skeleton hand in the past, in the spiritual unconscious, it's like those people or those energies were with you even back then when things felt really challenging. Now, they have also maybe inspired, whether you know it or not, some type of spiritual cleansing here, with the scissors, okay? And someone definitely was thinking a lot about that with this bobcat tooth here as well. and chewing over and digesting that in the past, and then it coming a little bit here into the current present energies. So when I think of the bobcat, right, it's a big, fierce animal, but it also makes me think of like domesticated house cats, right? So it's like the going between being a fierce wild animal and protecting something, but then also having that ability to be more softer and gentler and, let's say, domesticated. Okay, so that spirit of the cat definitely helping, coming in here and cleaning something away spiritually in the past, perhaps, that needed to be cleared away. Now, looking at these two, the way they fell, really interestingly, so this is the fish vertebrae here, okay? And then right on the side, really cool the way it fell there, is we have a piece of the snake vertebrae, like right next to the fish vertebrae, okay? So two kind of, when we talk about the vertebrae, it's the backbone. So it's support systems, okay? So this could be spiritual support systems in the past that were perhaps changing and having some type of needing to go with the flow with that. Okay, so snakes represent evolution and change. Okay, so snake vertebrae back. And then the fish vertebrae is we don't want to go against the tide, we want to go with the tide. So again, if there was some type of element going on here spiritually, unconsciously, with your intuition, what you feel deep in your gut, okay, that was changing in the past, there was again heavy emotions. We started with the water charm here with that Saturn charm, and then we also have the cup here, okay? But then on the other side, we also have the sun. So it's almost like it could have even been emotional, like overflow of positive emotions, even too. But some of it, because of all these changes, some of that needed to be cleared and cut away. So when I talk about support or the backbone, right? And we're talking about spiritual unconscious, it could also be, because it's right on the line in the other section, it could also be 3D support. So people that are alive, right? As well. So if, friends and family, we can't really change our family, right? But if we have our friends or our romantic partners change, or where we're working, or whatever our different levels of support is throughout our lives, sometimes when some of that changes, even if it's good changes, it can be a little bit overwhelming, and there's that need to cut away something that we no longer need. And again, kind of just go back to what we were saying in the beginning here with that turtle on top of the cross there. So needing to kind of slow down a little bit. So I definitely see like that present here, Gemini. And also, I wanted to say that this could have, well, actually, I don't want to go there yet. I want to go back this way. Um, to take a moment, right, for people who have never been here, or even if it's been a while and they're coming back, whatever falls in this center circle affects all these different areas. So you have like a little bit of that first raccoon penis bone crossing through the circle there. Okay, and then whatever touches that also technically is in the circle. So we have the green lucky rabbit's foot here, and underneath we've got one of the other human teeth bones. Okay, so I'll just kind of put it back roughly to where it was. And then we got all this stuff kind of going on here. But just looking at those three things, like raccoon penis bone, green lucky rabbit's foot, and the human teeth bone, it's like thinking a lot about how to be more proactive and aggressive in the 3D physical world and the spiritual world as well, to bring in more luck, right? So that's kind of like a theme that's going on in general here, Gemini, for the month of December or even into January. But I would say that there is also, could have something to do, with the Pisces, or during Pisces season, or where you may have Pisces in your chart, but it doesn't have to be. If you put away that zodiac stuff that we're talking about as far as Pisces. Here we have the symbol for Pisces, twin fish, but we were saying it before, I think when I was talking about the fish vertebrae and the snake vertebrae, about needing to go with the flow with the emotions, or maybe it was over here with the water charm, but it's kind of showing up here again, okay? Needing to go with the flow and finding balance, okay? Because it also had the yin yang kind of on top there. So finding balance with like old ideas and new ideas. Look at that. That is so cool, Gemini. So that lightning bolt is coming through here and it's landing on top of the lock. So normally this would represent stagnant energy, or you could say old ideas, right? And it's so cool the way the lightning bolt was on top of it. It almost made me think that it's gonna break open something, right? It's gonna break open to have a balance between, you could say, right, positive and negative. You could say a balance between masculine and feminine, okay? Because with this first raccoon penis bone, that's masculine energy. We have another one back there that we'll talk about in a little bit. But all the seashells, okay, also represent feminine energy. So you got feminine energy over there too. So there's a balance, right? But I really like the need to go with the flow here and those new ideas and balance coming in. Now this falls, okay, for everything because it's touching this, which is crossing the center a little bit here. But it's also mainly falling in the body and mental health section. Okay, so Gemini, this could be about your health or someone else's, or again, just kind of your general environment situation. But I also want to say that, like, you have, because we didn't all the way finish talking about the spiritual unconscious here. I kind of jumped a little bit around, but that's how I do sometimes, because that's the way spirit is telling me. We have feminine energy back here as well. And this time, we also have the symbol for Libra, okay? So balance energy, right? So it could be during this month that the strive for balance is really strong, because not only did you have the balance scales here, but then also yin and yang over here that we just looked at. So this could also be that you have something to do, there's something important to do. Perhaps it started during Libra season, which was back in October, I believe, right? It could also be, if it's not that, where you have Libra in your chart can give you a message or clue. Or it has nothing to do with like the zodiac frequencies at all, and it's really about an equal give and take, okay? It's about justice, right? It could be about spiritual unconscious justice, or justice, being able to listen and download those spiritual messages as well, and being able to weigh them and say, well, is this, just for myself and other people, etc. But what I really like to see here too, when we think of feminine energy as a stereotype, it's that soft receiving energy. And so when we see this feminine energy, this conch seashell, then we also have Leo the lion here, charm, the lion charm. So here, this can talk about passion and creativity. It can be just fiery energy. It could be something about where we feel fired up in our bodies when we're tapping into spirit, when we're listening to our intuition. So almost like when you're following your gut reactions to things, do you feel it in your stomach, right? The gut reaction, that stereotype or phrase, right? Do you feel it in your stomach, or do you feel it like you're twitching more in your eye, or I don't know, you see signs in out in the universe, right? So you, let's say one of your symbols is I don't know, like a giraffe or something, and you see giraffes on TV, or maybe out in the wild, who knows where you live, right? But whatever it is, there's like these signs that are coming through that can give you even more messages. So what I see here with that Leo charm right next to the conch seashell is there's like a strength in this soft receiving feminine energy to being open to the spiritual unconscious and open to trusting your own intuition. This could of course have something to either do with a Leo or where you have Leo in your chart or during Leo season, if it's in the past or even the future coming up. But it's really just about that passion and that creativity and where you find that strength, okay? Um, and then I forgot to mention as well over here, we have a little bit of this is the coyote penis bone. So it's half in the past and half in the future present energies. So again, it's just kind of like double masculine energy to be more proactive, let's say, in the spiritual unconscious realm. All right. And just to keep that flexibility there as well with the dog ankle bone. Okay. And I feel like that flexibility is also going to help not only in the spiritual unconscious, but also throughout the month. Remember to let these new ideas come in if there's any old stagnant energy that is no longer needed or needs to be updated or something here, and to strive for that balance and to go with the flow here. Okay. Um, so, yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead now and move into this next section. Pretty much your busiest section at this time. And that's not a good or bad thing, it's just what it is. That's where Spirit wants you to focus more on is your body and your mental health, or someone else's if it's not necessarily about you. So before we get deep into that, since we talked a little bit about some of the stuff right here, I also want to go in the past and see what's showing up here that may be why we're seeing certain things here. Okay. So we talked a little bit about, your skeleton hand being here, pass on loved ones, friends, family, ancestors, spirit guides, angels, whatever you want to call it. Okay. It's definitely being here in the past. And then we had that fish vertebrae, the snake vertebrae, the scissors, the bobcat tooth. We've got the cup here. Once the camera wants to focus, I was moving a little bit too much. There we go. And then we have the sun charm over here. Then this way we have that second raccoon penis bone, and then we've got the raccoon claw there. So here, in terms of somebody's body and mental health, perhaps in the past there was a lot of striving for and manifesting, well, how do I feel happy within my body and healthy and within my body and my mind, right? And so there was again need to cut something away here or restructure our support system. So for a small few, and again, always consult your doctor. I'm not a doctor, clearly. Consult your personal practitioner. But when we see sometimes the bones as far as the vertebrae, it can be a little bit of reference to um, like having joint issues or something, not necessarily like arthritis, but just something with the joints, okay? If it's not that, and again, always talk to your real doctor, it could also be more energetically, like where do I am finding that my support is changing in my body, right? Because I think, what is the statistic? There's something about every 7 years our cells like completely regenerate. I think that's what it is. Someone can correct me if it's not right. But yeah, so basically we're always evolving and trying to be the better version of ourselves, or that's the goal, right? And so we see all this kind of wanting to dig in and go deep and use that masculine energy. We also have the coyote claw over here, and then we see one of the puzzle piece charms, and then the seashell charm. Okay, so pieces of the puzzle are coming together in the past, and this could have been like a long time coming, okay, in terms of someone's health. um, Now, as we go this way, Gemini, we have one of our first honeybees over here. We have the horseshoe and the ladybug inside, and we've got the apple. So I'll kind of stop right there, and you can see where that dotted line is that separates the different sections, right? Just imagine it keeps going out. So here I can see that there could have been something about like community power and individual power in terms of our body and mental health. So, community power would be talking about doctors, trainers, mental health care practitioners, etc. Um, it could also be about like individually, what can I do for my body and my mind? And then the community sense could be, well, if I'm doing all the best that I can, then it's also up to my body and my mind to do the more physical side of it, let's say, right? So there's a couple different ways that you can look at that. And of course, it is a general reading meant for multiple people. So take what parts resonate for you and kind of leave the rest behind here. Um, but basically, what I'm also seeing is that there was a lot of good luck here in the past with that horseshoe and the ladybug inside. And it could have something to do with a teacher, a mentor, a guide, like a doctor or a trainer, etc. But it could also be about your own leadership qualities, and that can kind of go back to um, the honeybee here and talking about individual power and community power. So it could be like if you start eating well and having good mental health care for yourself, you could be a good example to other people in your life. So that's definitely another way to look at it as well. But again, this is all kind of past energy that we're talking about here. And what is the past, right? It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, whatever the past is for you, all right? But all of that kind of leading up to like all this activity this month, really in that body and mental health section. You still have other stuff going on, right? Don't get me wrong, but a lot is right here. um, and so, one of the first things I see here too, that's like right on coming off of the black mat and the white mat, is that feather charm, okay? And then we see the masculine charm there is right on top of the key charm. Okay, I just moved it over a little bit so you can see it. And hopefully, when I stop moving, the camera will focus a little bit better. But basically, some of this cleansing that somebody was thinking about again in the past, cutting away certain things that maybe are no longer good for them or for someone else in terms of their health, that started in the past and continued, okay? And it was, again, maybe utilizing more of that masculine energy to be more proactive and more aggressive with these things, or just working with someone else's own masculine energy within themselves. Like, well, yeah, you know what? I can do this. Like, I thought I couldn't do it before, but actually, I can do this. It's kind of that energy. Um, and then look at that. You have your second honeybee right here. So the first one was there, and then we got another one over here. So again, if we talk about the honeybee, if each honeybee that serves the queen, right, if they quit, then the queen bee would die and there would be no honey and they'd all die, right? So that's kind of why it represents for me individual power and community power. So it's something about, okay, I can take my doctor's advice or my trainer's advice, right? Um, but individually, how much power is going to be like really able to change my life, or what does it mean to work as a community for those things, okay? So that energy is definitely there. Somebody could be thinking about that, or it's just in the kind of, collective unconsciousness. It could also have something to do with the general astrology. I know towards the end of December, Chiron is direct on the December 29th, actually. So Chiron is known as the wounded healer, the Greek god, right? And so this can be about like, when can we have more compassion for other people, is really a time when Chiron goes direct to go inward and think about all those kind of spiritual things of self, and how we can like take a moment to really ask ourselves, what do we need to let go of and what do we need to move forward, right? And so again, that could have something to do with the collective unconscious here as well. But anyway, going back this way, Um, Here we also have the money bags. Okay, really interesting. And then the broom is on top of Cupid. And then that lock is going into Cupid. So interesting. And they're kind of hiding a little bit underneath this seashell here, feminine energy. So it could be here, Gemini, that for some of you guys, um, there is abundance in clearing away something that maybe you used to love, or somebody that someone used to love. Okay, and I say that because it could be like, if we're talking about body and mental health, it could be you really like to eat a lot of red meat. Well, maybe you can only eat it once a week or once a month or whatever whatever it is, right? So there needs to be something cleared away that maybe somebody really loved, but there's answers there, and there is abundance in doing whatever this cleansing is. It could also be that if there was like somebody that someone really trusted, like, because there's different forms of love, right? So there's romantic. If we looked at the relationships and love section, which we will in a little bit, there's romantic, there's platonic, there's self-love. But if there's something that needs to be swept away here, even if we like really liked our doctor or our trainer, or our mental health care worker or counselor, if that wasn't the right person over time, or there wasn't too much stagnant energy, or even too much dependency, I'm hearing, or trusting a little bit too much of that person, that maybe some of that needs to be cut away here. Okay, it's going to be different for everybody, of course, since it is a general reading. But that also has something to possibly do over here with the no coin showing up. Okay. And so the no coin is, on one side we've got the seahorse, on the other side underneath, I know we have the symbol for Capricorn. That's my symbol for Capricorn, the goat right there. Okay. And then it was kind of leaning up on top of that seashell, feminine energy. So no, a lot of times they say no is um, rejection is God's protection, right? However you say that. I think I'm saying it right. So it could be you saying no to someone else, or to an energy, or to a type of lifestyle, since we're in the body and mental health. This could have something to do with family. A seahorse represents family for me. So it could be our blood family, it could be our parent or being a parent, but it doesn't have to just be blood family. It could also just be whatever we consider our tribe or our people. They could be helping support whatever this no is, if it isn't directly towards them. Okay. And this could also have something to do with, I'm just move this over so we can see here, something to do with perhaps a Capricorn, or during Capricorn season, which would be towards the second half of December, okay, and into the first half of January. So if it's none of that zodiac stuff, though, it could also just be, what is that resilient excuse me, earth energy that's going to come in and help slow Gemini down here, okay? As also, when we see a no, it could be no for right now, but it doesn't have to be no for forever, right? And again, it could be you saying no to someone else, or someone else saying no to you, or just in general, right? But that resilient Capricorn energy, the goat, that sometimes will fall down the mountain and then it needs to get back up and keep going. That's that resilient earth energy there. Okay. Um, so, as we move forward, and look what else is showing up here. About to call you Capricorn, but you're Gemini, because we were just talking about Capricorn. We can see the listening seashell here. So I say that because if it was a big one and we put it up to our ear, right, we could hear the ocean. So it was kind of turned over, leaning this way. And so it's right next to, if not touching, believe it was already touching. We got the ship anchor here. We have the corn. I'm sorry, I'm making sure you guys can see what I'm looking at. You have a piece of the armadillo vertebrae here. So it's really like listening to, where can I find my freedom and my safety within the things that I'm planting for my body and mental health, or for someone else's body and mental health, right? There's something about that showing up here, because if it's a ship anchor, we drop it when we need to stop the ship, right? And then we lift it when we need to move the ship. So it's freedom and safety, and where we're planting some seeds for our health, and really listening possibly to our support system, maybe they can help us with that, or vice versa. It goes back and forth, right? Because the armadillo vertebrae is the back, right? And we think about the armadillo, it has that really hard, like, outer shell. It's like a tough animal, right? So there could be something about also putting on a tougher outer shell, or even inner shell, right? But it's like listening to that message here. Oh, wow, that did not mean to do that. But yes, they're like, listen, that was a message there for somebody for sure. So listen to that, and maybe, have a more harder outside shell if you're dealing with body and mental health things, right? So don't let other people's opinions about your body and mental health get to you, or take different doctors' opinions with a grain of salt. If you don't like one, get a second opinion, that kind of thing. Of course, with all within, if you can do that financially, of course, and with insurance and all that stuff. But anyway, I would really say that going over the details here this month is going to be important as well, because we have the strawberry here right next to the spider and the spider web. So the strawberry is going over the details within our body and mental health environment. So if we think of the spider and the spider web, if something flies into the web, it reverberates and it shakes the web. It's the whole environment. So what is the body and mental health environment? Okay, because I do see a lot of beautiful healing energy here, Gemini, because here we have the lizard with the elephant. Okay, so healing some memories here, something about memories being very healing, perhaps. And this could be more on the mental health side, and that would make sense if we're talking about memories. Okay, so if you cut off certain lizard's tail, right, their tail grows back, so it's like that rebirth, that healing type of energy. So that's really beautiful to see. Now, as we go this way here, Gemini, we have Pegasus the winged horse is kind of like hiding underneath the freedom cuffs. Okay, so this would be like both two elements that represent freedom, okay, in different ways. All right, so it's like, where can I find freedom with my body, with the mental health, okay, and how can that be like activated also with my spiritual team? So here, that's kind of like the freedom cuffs are a little bit underneath that angel coin here. Okay, so this could be higher vibrational beings, angels, spirit guides, people who've passed on that you feel they're watching over you. It could be any of those or all those things, right? And there is that feminine energy there with the feminine charm, that soft receiving energy, to be open to that. And then we see that the butterfly was actually kind of right on top, hiding a little bit of the feminine charm. So this is this big transformation, and that totally makes sense with all these things being in the body and mental health section this month, Gemini. So a big transformation is happening here. It's definitely confirming that. And with the bat here, there's a lot of good luck. And then we got the fish, so prosperity, but it's also about vibration. So bats can't see, right? So they use echolocation, they communicate and use sound. So there could be something here really about also, how do I communicate with others and back and forth, right? And how does that either bring me a sense of freedom or bring them a sense of freedom? And how is that part of possibly my transformation too? Okay. Now, as we go this way further back down to see kind of what is also touching the angel coin here, Gemini, we got the witch charm, We have the safety pin. We've got the question mark, um, which is also then touching the four-leaf clover, which is then touching the Norse symbol for protection and a few other things, but we'll come back to that. And then if we go this way, we got the frog here. We have the hummingbirds upside down, and then we have another one of the raccoon claws here. So this looks like these angels, ancestors, spirit guides, okay, past on loved ones, friends, want to help bring more safety in with maybe some questions that you have or someone has still regarding their own health or someone else's health, right? So there's safety in asking those questions. They want that to kind of be known. Um, and it's good to ask questions, right? Um, and anyone who doesn't want to answer your questions, then that is kind of like a red flag, especially if it's a doctor or trainer, etc. Um, so, obviously, if they have time or point you in the direction of where you can do your own research, whatever it is, okay. But there's all this good luck here, and the witch charm is my symbol for friends and a friendly type of energy. So it could be a group of friends or one friend or just a friendly type of energy that's around, because it almost looks like a little, like, sweet little girl, like Halloween witch charm. Like, I don't know. It's just, that's the energy that I get from it. And obviously, I don't think that's a bad word. So a lot of people don't understand what that word means, but that's a whole nother subject. So when we go this way, though, there's also kind of supporting what we were talking about here with that transformation, with the butterfly. There's some type of leap of faith, perhaps, that needs to happen or is going to happen. A leap of faith with the body and the mental health here. And it looks like somebody or some energy, if it's not a person, is really manifesting, well, how can I do things that um, maybe are considered more non-traditional, but I know that I'm naturally good at. So hummingbirds fly backwards, right? But they get the sweetest nectar. So they're a little different than the normal birds, okay? But they're good at what they do and they trust in that. So there's something about that here in connection with a leap of faith. Again, having something to do with health, okay? But there's a lot of protective energy, double protection with the safety pin. It's safe to ask questions. It's safe to make this leap of faith, right? You are divinely protected, okay? So I definitely like that. So we'll go back to that in a little bit, but I want to keep going this way now. So we talked a little bit about the lizard here and the elephant. Now we can also see right here, Gemini, with the bicycle, all this activity, and there could be something in particular that comes in. It's like that you get knowledge about this new type of activity or exercise, okay? Because we are in body and mental health, so it could be a physical exercise or a mental exercise or both. But I've never seen like the bicycle and the the book charm being like right on top of each other like that, or so close or touching. And then right behind that is the envelope charm, okay? So that's like the letter message document. So double energy coming in here. Either, you could say, Gemini, that this is from you to someone else or someone else to you, or if it's not from a particular person, it could come in general from your spiritual team. But there's some kind of big double message here about something to do with exercise and or with travel, okay? But because again we're in body and mental health, it would be some kind of exercise, I feel like, um, or it's something about exercising while traveling or whatever. But I really like too that if we look at, like, each section has the little things on the mat, right? So you have the symbol for money, it's hiding under there. You've got the heart for relationships and love. For spiritual and conscious, you have the cross. And then over here, you can't really see it because there's so much stuff. We have that person meditating, so you can see a little bit of their hand there, right? But that raccoon penis bone is going all the way through. Okay, if I just pick it up and move it there, you can see like the little person's body, and they're crossed with their legs and they're meditating. So it's like a lot of proactive energy here throughout the month for both the body and mental health that I definitely like to see that for you, Gemini. If there is like a little bit, a small degree of confusion at one point because we have the cloud charm there, um, it's going to go away when some of this knowledge comes in here. Okay. Um, Again, some type of knowledge or opportunity. Okay. It could be both, right? Since it's double there, right? With the book charm right next to that envelope charm. Okay. Now, as we go this way, and I just flipped over the charm because I forgot to flip it over earlier when we started, is that we've got the wish charm here. Okay, we have the coffin charm. I'll just flip it over a little bit too so you can see it a little bit better. It's hard to see black on black, but there it is. Okay, and I was touching the leaf charm, and then over here we have the fork, and then it was very close to, if not touching, the crown charm. Okay, so here, Gemini, there could be some wish for the body and mental health that, again, your spiritual team wants to come in and help you here with. So just like the skeleton hand back here and the angel coin, my coffin is a symbol for passed on loved ones, friends, family, etc., ancestors, angels, whatever you want to call it. Okay, there's a wish here for perhaps something to do with the body and mental health, and they want to come in and help you clear something here with that leaf. So remember how we said over here with the broom on top of Cupid, clear something, and we had the feather here, also clear something that maybe we used to love or we still love that maybe we know is not the best for us. Okay, something like this. Now, this could also have something to do with the diet, okay, because we have the fork here. It could be our physical diet. What are we physically eating, right? Excuse me, let me turn that down. But it could also just be what are we mentally digesting, okay? So, what kind of music do we listen to? What kind of media do we consume? What kind of friends are we listening to? Family, all that stuff, right? That could be the mental diet. Okay, so there's an emphasis on both maybe physical diet and mental diet. Now, with it being right next to the crown, there could be a person in a position of power or authority or has more knowledge in these areas than you that can help out. But it could also be your own leadership qualities that if you do these things and you clear things away that are no longer useful, that you could even like inspire others too. So that's definitely like another way to kind of look at that. Um, all right, now let's see where else we left off. So yeah, so we kind of talked about this, and then going down this way, even though it's crossing the line and goes into relationships and love, we'll just talk about a little bit of this down here as it relates to body and mental health before we then move on. Um, but that Norse symbol for protection, if you can see, was also touching the four-leaf clover, good luck. Okay, then we have the bow and arrow, Sagittarius energy. We have another human teeth bone here, and then we have the alligator claw. Okay, so here, Gemini, it's really about, asking those questions for the health or someone's health to feel safe to do that, right? But then also, like, what are our health goals? Okay, our body and mental health goals. So, where do we pull back that arrow and find the target and then want to hit it? Okay, this could have something to do with the Sagittarius, since it's a symbol for Sagittarius season where we are now until the 21st or so, or maybe where you have Sagittarius in your chart, but it doesn't have to be about the zodiac stuff. If you put that aside, it's just really what are the body and mental health goals here, okay? And to know that they are protected, or you're never too old or too young to have better body and mental health. So it's kind of like, don't give up on that too, because you're protected and there's good luck here. So if someone's going to be thinking a lot about that during this month perhaps, and a lot of manifesting, so the claw, alligator claw, is a symbol for good luck. And it's striving and reaching for something, just like some of the other animal claws that we have. So it's striving and reaching for that protection there. Okay, so that's very, very beautiful. All right, so that's, I think, everything as far as the body and mental health. So now, since we're already in this other section, we'll go ahead and officially cross over here, and see what else we got going on. So, first thing, right, is that you have half of the green lucky rabbit's foot, if we follow that dotted line, is here in relationships and love, Gemini. So lots of good luck. We already know you also have your four-leaf clover over here. Okay, so lots of double good luck throughout the month or beyond, for relationships, all types of relationships, romantic, platonic, and self-love, right? Excuse me. Excuse me. So, we kind of already know that there could also be like a wish that it was not only for body and mental health, but it was a wish perhaps for one relationship or all relationships, or the relationship with self, right? If we're talking about body and mental health, it could also just be a self relationship. Relationship to self is first, right? And so there is like your spiritual team wanting to come in here and help cleanse something with that, and to really think about, okay, we know over here it was about what are we physically eating and digesting, and what are we digesting mentally, but now in relationships and love, what are we digesting in terms of what types of relationships that we want in our life with ourselves and others. And if there's someone here or a group of people or an energy that has a little bit more knowledge with that, can we work with them, right? Or if it's, and or also could be your own leadership qualities. So if you're asking those questions about what kind of relationships you want moving forward with yourself and others, then you could also be inspiration to help other people as well. Okay, but there is all this transformation if we go all the way back up here to the butterfly, because these things, they cross the line, and if they're touching, then they all kind of come in this way as well. So we know there's a body and mental health transformation. We know there's also probably a transformation going on in some relationships here, okay, or all of your relationships, Gemini. um, but it's like freedom is possible, and that's kind of the energy that's motivating it. Freedom within our vibrations and how we communicate with others, and making some type of leap of faith, maybe to feel more like ourselves, like the hummingbird, to fly backwards and not care that you don't fly forwards like the other birds. You do things a little bit differently, but it works for you. So that energy is definitely still here. The freedom to question yourself and others about maybe how this good luck is showing up for you, in terms of your relationships, and working with maybe a group of a group of friends, or a friendly type of energy here with the witch charm. Okay, but knowing that you are divinely protected, and so are your relationships. Like, again, what are your relationship goals? What type of relationships do you want? Does the other person want? Multiple people, general environment, situation. So where do you pull back that arrow and hit that target? And also just keep manifesting all this beautiful protection. The only thing that you have in the past in this section is really just the dragonfly there, okay? So that just shows me like dreams from past lives about relationships could be like extra important this month, but that kind of connects to what are your goals and your dreams, okay? But it could be that it started in the past here too, and maybe that's why you or someone else became very motivated to be like, I need to feel protected in my relationships, right? That's beautiful. And who doesn't want that? So when we go this way here, Gemini, we can see we have the peace doves. They're right on top of the relationship word. And so This is really about like, um, how do we have more peaceful energy within our relationships, peaceful energy that starts with ourself and then goes outwards, right? There could be also a real emphasis this month, with children, with your children or someone else's, or just a childlike energy. I love that it fell right on the love word. Okay, so just kind of move it back there. um, and this is also about maybe following our North Star. I moved it over because when it gets on this kind of like ornate design, it's hard to see. But your star was here, Gemini. So, where can we follow our North Star in terms of our relationships as well? Following all this good luck, the double good luck that we talked about. And then here with the rope charm right on, the heart, and I consider this like the heart chakra if we're talking about energetic placements within the body, right? Um, or even outside of the body that flow out. That over time, this peaceful energy, this embracing childlike energy, this protective energy, all this good luck is coming in here. So beautiful. And I'll be like, damn, is it Gemini season? No, it's Sagittarius Capricorn season. But you got a lot of beautiful things happening here, Gemini. Now, also, if we move over a little bit here, some of the green lucky rabbit's foot, we have a piece of the whale vertebrae showing up here, that little tiny piece. So it was like almost touching, or if not supporting, that green lucky rabbit's foot there. So there could be a system of okay, that wasn't supposed to happen, but that's okay. What I was going to say was a support system. um, like somebody to support that thing that just fell over, but a support system that is helping, keep this good luck going. So this could be, right, romantic support system. It could be platonic with friends and family support system, or it could and or also be self-love, support system, because you support yourself, right? Or you should. So lots of good luck here, really beautiful energy. I love that for you, Gemini. All right. Now, coming to your last section here, in work and money, probably, the least like active section, for this reading. I usually take that as a good sign. So, just ignore this over here. These are crystals, they're not necessarily part of the reading, but they're just there. Okay, so not to be confused. All right. But yeah, when there's like a less active energy in a section, I feel like generally it's saying whatever you're doing, keep doing it, right? And I'm trying to give you a thumbs up if you can see, right? Thumbs up. So we know, okay, with the green lucky rabbit's foot here, that there's a lot of good luck this month in terms of work or money or finances, or being valued in some way if you're no longer working. We can see that in the past here, there was a lot of abundance here with the buckeye. And then we have really small over here is, a deer tooth. Okay. Um, there we go, once the camera focuses. So this is someone in the past, or an energy in the past, that was chewing over, digesting how to bring in more abundance here, right? Um, and how to bring in, also I associate deers with being these really peaceful animals. Okay, some say they're dumb, right? I don't think any animals are dumb, but they could just be not as quick as other animals, so to speak, in certain ways. Okay, but animals always have messages for us, and that's why I do the bones and charms, because energy is in everything, right? So we can get some of that energy from that animal to kind of teach us, a certain lesson or something to focus on in a different way. So, anyway, I can see that someone was thinking about how to maybe get back to that pure, more innocence, um, abundance energy in terms of work or money or finances, or being valued in the past. Okay. So, then as we move into here in the future, current, present energies, we have all that good luck. So, we'll just pick it up and move it over. Like over here a little bit, because I forgot what was underneath already. So here we have one of the human teeth bones. We have part of the raccoon penis bone. We've got the chair over here. we got the nutmeg, and then we have the turkey wishbone, okay? So, chewing over and digesting, we already know in the past and in the future how to bring in more luck. That's beautiful. Who doesn't want that with work and money? Hallelujah, yes. Um, how to be more proactive with that masculine energy, not overly masculine or not lower vibrational masculine, but more higher vibrational masculine energy, we'll say, right? So it almost looks like the raccoon penis bone wants to come in here and just sweep up that money um, symbol that's on the mat, okay? So this could also have something to do with the home this month, or where we feel at home when we're working, or with the work or the side hustle, or the money or the finances, or being valued, okay? For some people, it could be that you know, a small few, but it's different for everyone because it's a general reading and not a personal one-on-one reading. But it could be like you have to spend a little bit more money with home repairs, or even if you don't own your own home, if you're renting, whatever, it could just be like there's more time in decorating, or again doing repairs or something like this within the home. But I don't again see it as like a big hit or a big emphasis here. Because what I see is that we started off the reading in this section and then we kind of went up and around, but we have also that double wish for something that is spiritual, unconscious, but also about the work and money, the finances are being valued. So there's still a real focus here on that energy this month, and how to bring in more abundance, and not just financially and with the work and money, but what do we want in general in our lives? And what do we want our home to feel like where we live, right? That energy is definitely important too. So lots of really good stuff here this month, Gemini. I hope that some of that makes sense for you, or will make sense for you in the future whenever you see this. All right, I don't even know what time we're at. We probably went way over, but that's okay. You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and clean this up and switch over to the Cancer energy, Zodiac Cancer. Yes, yes. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down for a little bit as we do that. But great ways to clear energy is with sound, sound healing and vibrations. You can also do it with smoke or incense, clears energy as well, from previous readings. So I don't know if I'll do the incense since I'm still kind of getting over my sinus infection right now, but we'll definitely do some of the sound. I think I took a picture. Let me double check. I think I did. Yes, I did. Okay, because I don't want to clear them away until I know that we took a picture. All right, so again, thank you to the Geminis, and anyone else that was watching, and hope you got something from that. All right. Enjoy this time period in the season. And like I said, if you celebrate any holidays during December or January, enjoy. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and clear this out and give the bones and charms time to rest with the crystals and kind of cleanse the energy from the previous reading. And I might take a little bit more sip of my drink over here too. Since I get to talk a lot, definitely need to have that little refresh and some background noise. I want to kind of rotate the stuff on the mat too. So once we do the reshuffling, I always do it with my eyes closed, but I don't want to like remember where all the sections are, because I want it to be really messages from spirit and not from me. All right, so we'll put this over here with some of the crystals to charge a little bit. Get our tiger's eye and our selenite on over there. And then we will get our sound bowl. All Did I get all of them? Okay, I did. Just wanted to make sure. All right. So, like I said, we are going to continue on with December readings for Cancer. So everyone is welcome, regardless of where you may have Cancer in your chart. You could be a sun sign Cancer, or moon Cancer, or rising ascendant Cancer. You could have your Cancer in Mars, in your Venus, and really anywhere, right? So everybody is welcome. And always feel free to check your other placements, because sometimes you may resonate more with another placement depending on what's going on in your life. And there's lots of free birth charts out there. Even if you don't know your exact birth time, I think the only thing you may not find out with that is your rising or ascendant sign, but you can still find out everything else. So anyway, let's go ahead and do this sound bell here to cleanse the energy. For you guys to take a couple of deep breaths if you feel guided. And then it also gives me a chance to connect with my guides as well and make sure that I am delivering the messages as clearly as possible to you. So, all right. So this is going to be for Cancer for December 2024. All right. Just move some of this stuff over. Okay. So when I shake the bones and charms before I cast them, it will make a little bit of noise as well. So feel free to temporarily turn it down if you need to. But this is the way that I cleanse the energy and make sure that it is accurate as possible. And so it's just noisy. There's nothing I can do about it. But it's just the equivalent of like shuffling cards. If I was doing if I was doing tarot or oracle cards, as I made it one word. Excuse me. Ooh. All right, maybe one more sip, and then we'll get started. All right. All right. Spirits, please guide my hands. Messages for water sign Cancer for December 2024 for their highest good and vibration. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Messages for water sign Cancer for their highest good and vibration for December 2024. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for the highest vibrational good? Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer, water sign Cancer for their highest vibration. Messages for Cancer. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for water sign Cancer for their highest vibrational good. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for water sign Cancer for December, please, for their highest vibration, December 2024. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer for their highest good and vibration. Spirit, guide my hands, please. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer for their highest good and vibration, please. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer for their highest good and vibration, please. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer for their highest good and vibration, please. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer for their highest good and vibration, please. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer for their highest good and vibration, please. Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer. Spirits. Alright. Alright. Over there. Okay, we got a lot of activity going on. Let's see, where do we begin? We'll go ahead and flip over some of the bones and charms that I can that are not really disturbing any of the other ones. Okay. That was a piece of my hair, sorry. My hair, dog hair, who knows? Cat hair. Is that over? So I'm going to move some of this that fell off of the mat back on. It doesn't change their meaning, okay? It just makes it easy for everyone to see. None of them were like touching each other. They're just very close. Alright. Let's see. What else here? We can flip over this one. Stay. Okay. This one we can flip over. Very gentle surgery. You guys ever remember that game Operation? I'm just showing my age right now. Some people may know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that looks good enough for now because again, I don't want to mess up too much of them that are close together. So we'll go ahead and take a picture now that I will post after the live is done. For some people who may want to just look at the picture again, I just do it for everybody. Oop, and we got this one all the way out here too. Let's move that in a little bit. Okay. So yeah, we'll take our picture. We'll kind of figure out where Spirit wants this reading to start, and then we'll get started. Okay. Looks good. Come on, turn off. Okay. So interesting, some of you guys were in the last reading, even though I rotated the mat and everything, it seems like a lot of the energy has been in this section, and a little bit over here as well, but they're in different sections since I did turn the mat around. So it's just interesting, when that happens. So for you, Cancer, for the month of December, it looks like there's a lot going on in work and money. That's your busiest section, okay? And then you also have a lot going on over here in your spiritual unconscious, okay? Very little in body and mental health and relationships and love. Still stuff going on, but very little. So majority of when that happens, majority of the time, it's like Spirit is saying these sections, just continue doing what you're already doing and then focus more on these other sections. So that's definitely, what's showing up here. So it's not necessarily a good or bad thing. That's just the way it is. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to hover my hand over real quickly and see exactly where Spirit wants us to start. So I'm going to move these down a little bit. Sometimes I just feel like it's in the way there. Okay. cool. So everything's on this side, but it's all good. All right. So spirits, please guide my hands. Please guide my hand. Where do you want me to start this Cancer reading? Spirits, guide my hands. Where would you like me to start this Cancer reading? It's really strong right here, but let's keep going. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Where would you like me to start this Cancer reading? No, it's right there. All right. So interestingly, when I looked right under my palm where I was feeling it, is where we have that first skull that's kind of on its side there. You guys can see it, okay? Just prop it up there for a second. So where we have a skull, and I usually have two in this kit, they're both in work and money, but this one's also right on the line between relationships and love. So we kind of said that once my camera focuses again. This is where majority of your energy is this month, Cancer, okay? With the work and money and the relationships and love. So that's kind of makes sense, all right? So this is the second skull and this is the first skull because it was taking forever to focus. And I'll just turn it back the way it was, but we're starting here, okay? And I actually want to start, yeah, I want to start, it's not relationships and love. I moved the mat. I'm so sorry. I misspoke. So let's go back. And I'm also sick, guys, so give me a break here. It's in work and money and spiritual unconscious. I thought this was relationships and love, but it's not. It's duh. Here's the cross and the heart's over there. So the majority of your energy and where someone's mind is at or where it will be at is where the skulls are, right? So work and money and spiritual unconscious. All right. So this is the section I'm going to start. We're going to start right here and then move throughout here, and then we'll figure out next where we're going. Okay. But as you come to this reading, Cancer, it could be about you or someone you're dealing with, multiple people, your general environment situation. So always just take the parts that may resonate with you and leave the rest behind. But I can see, like right off the bat here, Cancer, that someone's mind could be more on the spiritual unconscious, or what we also call as intuition, right? Our intuitive powers is there because there maybe is someone is feeling a lot of like spiritual unconscious or intuitive challenges this month, okay? So I'm just kind of turning it around so you can see it, but that's the mountain charm, okay? And it was right underneath, that was right underneath the skull there, okay? So if there are a lot of challenges this month, or it feels like that, just know, that on the other side of that, right, literally on the other side of the skull is the safety pin and the lock. So there could be a little bit of stagnant energy, there could be a little bit of challenges, but there's still a safety in between those two. So just keep that in mind, because it's like a cushion, okay? Because if it was just friction, then things could maybe catch fire. But there's a little bit of cushion there, or like a buffer in between those things, okay? And we're talking about it first in terms of the spiritual unconscious. So as we move this way here, Cancer, this could have something to do with a Pisces, a sun sign Pisces, or someone that's got a lot of Pisces in their chart, or even Pisces season of last year, since part of this is in the past, or it could even be in future in 2025, right? Who can say? Since time is fluid and relative. But if you put all that like zodiac frequencies aside, if none of the Pisces stuff resonates, it's really about how can we go with the flow. The twin fish are swimming with the tide, they're not swimming against it. So how can we do that in terms of our spiritual unconscious, or our intuitive nature, right? Because there's a real striving here in the past also in terms of spiritual unconscious for some type of equal give and take, or some type of balance here, or spiritual unconscious justice, even with the balance scales here. Now, this could have something to do with a Libra or during Libra season, or where you may have Libra in your chart here, Cancer. Or if it's none of the zodiac stuff, right? It's just that equal give and take, that balance, and that justice theme showing up here in the past, okay? We can also see here in the past that this is my listening seashell. So this is going to be feminine energy here, Cancer. And then we have the coyote claw coming in from the past, then onto the black mat, right? And so this is really about how do we manifest with this soft receiving feminine energy in terms of our spiritual unconscious, okay? I can also see here that in the past, again, things that have fallen off the black mat into the white mat, is there was some type of possible flexibility that started here in the past that is still needed and will be happening in the future current present energies, okay? Because we had the raccoon claw that was very close to it, if not touching. I just moved it over so you can see it. So it's like manifesting more flexibility in terms of our spiritual unconscious, or our intuitive nature, our gut reactions to things, right? So I definitely see that showing up here as well. Now, if we go this way here, Cancer, there's a freedom within some type of deep spiritual transformation that's happening here for you, or a deep spiritual intuitive gut reaction. That's transforming. Something's changing big time here with the butterfly, and it's changing for the better, and it wants to bring in this freedom energy here with the freedom handcuffs. And it's like freedom to do things that you're naturally good at, that makes your spirit soar, things that make you feel lighter here, Cancer, okay? With that hummingbird. So the hummingbird, it flies backwards, right? It does things a little bit non-traditional, but it's the fastest bird, and it gets, the sweetest nectar, okay? So to follow the things that make your spirit soar here, Cancer, it's almost like this could have something to do with a teacher, a mentor, a guide, or in addition to that, it could be that the more you do that spiritually, unconsciously, with your intuition, with your gut reactions to things, that is going to like bring other people towards you, and you're going to be a guide for them. And it's like not even why you're doing that, but it is definitely like a natural kind of thing that could be happening, okay? And that's beautiful, because you could definitely meet a lot of friends that way, and that kind of transitions perfectly to over here. When I see this wish charm, that's my symbol for a friend or a group of friends or friendly type of energy, that wants to come in here and maybe help you with these spiritual unconscious goals or dreams, that what you have, that you want to accomplish with your own intuition and trusting yourself more. Okay, now this could have something to do with the Sagittarius, with the Sagittarius bow and arrow symbol here, or someone that has a lot of Sagittarius in their chart, or where you do, or during Sagittarius season. But if it's none of those zodiac things, that's okay too. It could just really be about the spiritual unconscious goals. Again, so that friendly type of energy is coming in here and wanting to help you with this. And it's so cool too, because like not only the more that you follow what makes your soul soar here and feel light and free, it brings in a sense of community and individual power just naturally, like on its own. And you helping yourself is going to help others. And you see it repeated here again with the first honeybee here, Cancer. So cute. Also, this friendly type of energy, group of friends or friendly energy, perhaps want to go help you go over some kind of spiritual details here with the strawberry. And this could also have something to do with something that needs to be cut away, that was maybe planted before. Maybe it wasn't planted right, so it needs to like have the correct soil, the correct timing if we're using gardening as a metaphor, right? Or the correct soil or conditions or whatever. Because whatever is on these dotted lines is in one section, but it also applies to the other where it crosses the line. So even though this is in work and money, and we'll get to it later in that aspect, here, because we're still talking about the spiritual unconscious, it's like cutting away something here. There's like three, well, two technically, but I don't know why I said, well, no, it is three. Yeah, I'm crazy. Okay. I'm crazy in a good way. So you have the leaf, which is cutting away. Okay. Then you have the scissors, which is literally cutting away. And then the no coin is like, no, we need to cut something away here. And then over on this side, it's touching Cupid, and then it's going to the yin and yang, and we'll kind of stop there because this could just go on and on, and we'll come back there. But basically, it's like cutting away something that maybe we used to really love, or it's a person or an aspect of ourselves or someone else. That is not helping anymore in terms of our spiritual unconscious, or an intuitive nature, or our gut reactions to things. There's something that needs to be cut away here or replanted. And sometimes when we see the no coin, it doesn't mean no for forever. It just means no for right now. Okay. So again, this could be a no that you receive more from your spiritual team, or you receive it from someone else and it's confirmed by your spiritual team, your ancestors, your angels, past on loved ones, friends, family, etc. But it goes back to perhaps needing to be by water or going over water or something here with water. Cancer, right there you are, you're the crab, you're a water sign. So definitely that healing aspect of the water is going to be really good for you. It also is going to come in here and get rid of any stagnant energy that feels like it's like in your crown chakra, because it's right here on your skull. Okay, so if it's not in body and mental health, it's not necessarily like physical headaches, right? Cancel, clear, delete, nobody wants that. But maybe it's more of like some stagnant energy within the crown chakra, that's blocking something here. So water is going to help. So pouring water over your head, even, or even if you can't do that, or and it's cold and whatever, it's energetically pouring some water over your head to feel more of that safety energy here. So you could even be listening to some crown chakra opening music, or just visualizing water going over your head here. I don't know, it's just really important. So that's what they wanted to say, your spirit guides, with that. Now, as we go back this way, okay, we can see that also, too, here, really interestingly, um, there is the irresponsibility coin showed up here this time, okay? And so this could be saying, Cancer, that you or someone else or multiple people, general environment situation, was not being spiritually or unconsciously responsible, okay? Maybe there was too much emotional energy, and again, this maybe blocked the crown chakra in some way. But with this irresponsibility energy here from either you or another person or just the energy, the fork is like that promise for, well, if we focus on what we are spiritually unconsciously feeding ourselves and digesting, then we can perhaps change that irresponsibility energy to then a more responsive, responsible energy. So that's like where that flexibility that we said before, that started a little in the past, is still needed here. So to be flexible with the emotions, and to ask those kind of deeper questions, right, is always important. Because the more that we can also tap in here to Cancer, to some type of memories that are going to help lead us to our North Star on our spiritual unconscious journey. Okay, so I've said it before here on this channel, and I'll say it again. Sometimes we can even experience happy emotions that can still be overwhelming and like stressful in some way. So it doesn't always have to be like bad, but there's a need to balance whatever that is. So if we're being too overly emotionally happy, or we're being too emotionally unhappy, or whatever it is, okay, again, as a general reading, to just kind of get back in check and ask those questions. What are we spiritually unconsciously digesting here with the fork? Now, as we go this way, here, Cancer, I don't know if I said Capricorn. I keep hearing Capricorn for some reason. It could be my sick brain, but hopefully I'm saying Cancer because this is a Cancer reading. But this could have something to do with the Capricorn. I don't know where that came from. But this here is that turkey wishbone, and inside of it, and it's right on the line here, but we're talking about it in terms of the spiritual unconscious, is also the crown charm. Okay, so the crown charm is like, how can we step into our royalty energy? Because we're talking about spiritual. How can we, again, open up that crown chakra, the top of our head, okay, to let in these higher vibrational frequencies? So you or someone else is already really wishing for this here, Cancer, this month. And I also see like crossing that center circle. Remember we said, or I'll say it again if you're new here, whatever crosses the center circle affects all the different areas throughout the month. That is that first raccoon penis bone. So that's masculine energy coming in here, and higher vibrational frequency masculine energy. So being more proactive or aggressive with, what is it? Listening, with the listening bells here, to new ideas with the lightning bolt. That's so cool. Okay, so listening to new ideas throughout the month here, Cancer, is going to be a big thing for you. So, not necessarily making decisions, but just being open to listening to these new ideas. And there are going to be new ideas in relationships and love, new ideas with work and money, new ideas with body and mental health, new ideas spiritually, unconsciously, intuitively, but just at least being open to these new ideas. Okay, so that's really cool. Now, we're going to go ahead and move into body and mental health. Since we're kind of already on the line here, it kind of just makes sense to move this way. And like I said, you don't have a whole lot going on here, so that's usually like a thumbs up from spirit that continue to do what you're already doing, and focus on these other areas, okay? But if there are any questions, though, a little bit, that come from more a spiritual side, because it's also over here, because we're talking about mind, body, spirit, right? To just be, again, open to that and listening for these new ideas, and not necessarily dismissing any new ideas that may come in for your own health here, Cancer, or someone else's body and mental health or overall health. Because I see here in the past, there was a lot of happiness, okay, for somebody's body and mental health here in past energy. And that could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc., right? Whatever the past is for you or the other person, general environment situation. I want to turn the camera a little bit here so you can see that figure that's meditating there. But right on top of it, almost like on one of the shoulders and then going in towards the heart chakra, is that conch seashell. So that's feminine energy, right? So you can see the figure meditating there. So I feel like this is very nice here for you, Cancer. It could be this feminine energy. You feel it more this month, almost like an energetic hand on your shoulder or coming over your heart chakra. This beautiful, soft, receiving energy. And then it's so balanced, though, because you have feminine here and then you have masculine here. So one on each shoulder. And that's really beautiful to see. I like that. Definitely balance between the masculine and the feminine here, regardless of how you may identify it, right? We all have masculine and feminine inside of us. And then again, with that turkey wishbone there being right on the line, and then also the crown charm, it's like, where can we bring in our royalty energy in terms of our body and mental health? Okay, so what are our wishes for our body and mental health and for others, and how can we be open up to what's coming in through the crown chakra, right? So that higher vibrational energy. So really, really beautiful. Again, not a whole lot going on this month. So um, just keep doing whatever you're doing, and those things we just mentioned. And yeah, looks good there. All right, so Cancer, moving on to your relationships and love section this month. Um, Again, being open to new ideas, because that's throughout the month. We said whatever crosses in the circle. So you have those listening bells with that raccoon penis bone, masculine energy, and then the lightning bolt coming in there on the side. Really cool. Um, so we can see in the past, if we go up here a little bit, in those dotted lines still, this is just past energy. We can see that maybe there was a wish or a group of wishes for some type of relationship, whether it's romantic, platonic with friends and family, and or self-love. There was a wish for having more answers to those relationships, right? Um, and this could have been also something about past lives, or it was a long time coming here. This wish is still here, like it started in the past, but it's still here with the seashell charm. Okay, Cancer. And this could really have something to do with cleansing something within our energetic home of our heart chakra. Oh, that made me jump for a second. Hermes, it's okay. It's so quiet in here. Let me turn up the little ambient music for a moment. It's okay, Hermes. Hermes. It's okay. No. Hold on one second, guys. Let me just close the door. Okay. No. Whatever you're barking at, turn it out. No. All right. We'll just talk over him like we can't hear him. Yes. That was funny. I jumped a little bit. All right. It's going to jumpstart your heart chakra, right? Because that's what we were about to talk about. Excuse me, Cancer. Okay, so there could be something going on this month where it's like, where do we feel at home with the chair here within our heart? Okay, because we have all this healing energy, all this cleansing energy. Okay, so this could have something here to do with a Leo, or during Leo season here, Cancer, or where you may have Leo in your chart. All right. But if you put all the zodiac frequencies aside, it could also just be like, well, where do you find your passion and your creativity within your heart chakra, within your relationships, all your different types of relationships, starting with yourself and then moving outwards, because there is all this beautiful cleansing going on here and healing energy. So with this lizard, certain lizards, right, if you cut off their tail, it grows back. So it represents that rebirth and healing energy. And it's like almost like the feather is coming in here and wanting to cut off that tail right there too. It's funny the way it fell like that. So double clearing and healing energy. And this could have something to do with relationships within the home, whether it's roommates or family, romantic partner, etc. But I really see it as a positive thing, whatever it is, okay? And passion and creativity. Now, over here is also something about good luck showing up here in relationships this month. So we have the horseshoe and the ladybug inside of it, and then it's laying on top of the puzzle piece charm, and then that's laying on top of the second raccoon penis bone here, so masculine energy, and then that's leaning over and going into where we have the buckeye here, okay? And then that is touching the green lucky rabbit's foot. All right, so lots of good luck here, definitely, that maybe starts in the relationship section, and then it even goes over into work and money and finances and how we're being valued, right? So if you're no longer working, or you're not particularly concerned about your money or your finances, it's still about how we're being valued. So that makes sense that it would cross over from relationships into work and money. because also relationships are how we're being valued as well, or how we're valuing ourselves and others. So it definitely makes sense that there is a crossover. So now with that being said, we'll go over and move into your last section here, your busiest one this month, Cancer. And it's just right now 222 while I'm filming this. So good luck there. Yes, yes. And sorry, I think hopefully the dogs have calmed down. I don't know if it was a package delivery or what, but whatever it is, it's all good. We said in the beginning, right, your two skulls. One was here, work and money, and then the other one was on the line between work and money and spiritual and conscious. So we're just confirming that there's a lot of activity going on here. So let's start with past stuff, what's fallen outside on the white part of the mat, and then we'll move more into the stuff on the black mat. So we kind of already talked a little bit about some of this stuff here in terms of relationships and love, but not in terms of work and money yet. So we can see that the first skull here is leaning on top of that second raccoon penis bone. So higher vibrational masculine energy, being more proactive with the work or at work, with the money, the finances, or being valued. This is a big piece to the puzzle. As we know, there's a lot of good luck and abundance around it. You have the horseshoe and the ladybug here. Then you literally have your lucky rabbit's foot and your buckeye for abundance here. Some of this good luck started in the past, but it's also here in the future present energy. So that's a big thing to see. So maybe it started in the past here because of Saturn. Saturn is right underneath that green lucky rabbit's foot there. So Saturn maybe came in and was like, hey, Cancer, you need to get organized. You need to get these things moving within your work or money or value, being valued themes here. So maybe that started in the past, and then over time, okay, that added responsibility or getting organized, or that more sobering earth moving energy, getting serious about these things, then over time also had that show up and be abundance in the future current present energies as well, because it started in here in the past. Okay, so also here in the past, and that's just a candle, you don't have to look at that, but we have the snake vertebrae is all the way out here. We have the piece of the whale vertebrae here as well. Okay, we've got one of the human teeth bones, we've got the feminine charm, and then we have the coyote claw over here as well. So here what I'm seeing, Cancer, is like double messages about support within our work or money or finances or being valued. In the past, perhaps there was a lot of thinking about this, and maybe it was with a feminine energy that was more supportive in the past, or this soft feminine receiving energy made it seem like that's kind of the energy that it was supposed to have, or you were supposed to have, or someone was supposed to have here. But then there's also like a masculine energy too, on how to like bring those things together, because they're all separate. Like none of these pieces are touching each other. They're all kind of separate. Okay. Now I also see here in the past that there was a lot of thinking about passed on loved ones, friends, family, angels, spirit guides, etc. here with the coffin charm, and maybe how somebody's like, well, how did my great ancestors and how did my even people that I'm related to that I know that are passed on, how did they create their abundance in terms of work or money or finances or being valued? So maybe somebody was thinking a lot about that and lessons from those individuals that maybe that could help them here within their own lifetime, right? Because I also see that there was some type of knowledge here that maybe was worth something. So somebody knew something here in the past and it was worth something, honey. I'm gonna tell you, because it's right next to the nutmeg, and then not far from it is my symbol for Capricorn. So this could have something to do with the Capricorn or during Capricorn season, which would be half of December coming up and half of January, or where you have Capricorn in your chart, or it has nothing to do with the zodiac sign and is more just about that slowed down earth energy that is very resilient and it's hardworking. So we said Saturn over here, that's the ruler of Capricorn. Then we have Capricorn here. Okay, so the goat goes up the mountain and it walks difficult pathways, and it has to be really flexible in order to do that. So that some of the energy here in the past. So somebody maybe had some information or some knowledge that was worth something, and maybe they were trying to figure out how to not give up on that, but also remain flexible with it, with how it was received in the past. Again, this is all past energy. And then here with the seahorse all by itself, this is my symbol for family here, Cancer. So it could be that this has something to do with your blood family, with being a parent or your parents, or it has nothing to do with blood family and it's more your tribe, your group of people that you consider that you're closest to, okay? But it's like it started in the past, it's something to do with family, and it's going a little up here into the future, current, present energies with the family as well, okay? Now, when I see this baby upside down like this, okay, that usually tells me that somebody is two different things, right? It could be someone's receiving messages when they're sleeping, when they're unconscious, that can help them with their work or money or finances. And or it could also be that someone needs to put something to rest. Okay? These are both past energies though, that still come a little bit into the future, current, present energies, but mainly past. So maybe again, someone was receiving messages while they're sleeping about the work or with the work or the money or finances or being valued, or they needed to put something to rest at work or with the work or the money or the finances or being valued. But here, this is also like supported, like it's like giving the baby a leg up. Like the leg is, one of the legs is on the angel coin. So your higher vibrational beings, your spiritual team, maybe was helping that those messages come through while someone was sleeping or unconscious, and or if it was something that needed to be put to rest, to be done with, the angels, your spiritual team, was also kind of supporting that either way. Okay. Sorry, I need to blow my nose for just a second, guys. Okay. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So as we go this way, though, we can see that there's another human teeth bone here. That we've got the fish, we have the money bags. Anytime you see the money bags in the money and work section, it's always kind of extra good luck. That's the way that I look at it. But it's like also with the dragonfly here, and then you have one of the coyote penis bones over here underneath the dragonfly. So it's like, yeah, these messages that were coming in while they're either asleep or needing to shut something down for it to be over, to be put to rest with the work or the money or finances. This was for like the best of all in the past. It was the best. It was for the best. Like, I don't know, I just keep hearing that. Okay, it was for the best of all. And so it's also very close to that Libra energy here with the balance scales. Okay, it's not touching, but very close. And then we had over here the twin fish, so Pisces energy, so Libra or Pisces. They could have played a role in this if you know someone with those signs, or someone that has a lot of that in their own birth chart. Or it could also be where you have those energies in your birth chart, can give you an extra clue, or it's referring to Libra season or Pisces season in the past, or It has nothing to do with any of those zodiac stuff. And it's just really about, again, like justice, balance, equal to give and take, going with the flow here, and something about, what did I say? Doing something for the group, or doing something for the best of the group, or I don't know. I just heard that, and wasn't even looking at this part yet. So when we take that energy from the past, okay, all that information, and then we're now applying it to the future, current, present energies, your spiritual team, they want you to use the proactive, higher vibrational frequencies, masculine energy, to clear something here, to clear something perhaps with your role at work, or with the work, or the money, or the finances, or being valued. Because here the first honeybee is right next to the broom, so this represents community power and individual power. Somebody in your spiritual team is like, oh, we got to clear that away, right? Remember, we got to put that to rest, something to rest there, whether it's an idea or a mindset with the work or money, or if it's an actual job or coworker, or whatever it may be, right? Again, it will be different for everybody, but there's something that your spiritual team is like, you gotta clear that up, okay? Now I'm just flipping over this other charm here, that was underneath the angel coin. So here we have the envelope charm. So it could also be that when you clear this energy, or because you clear this energy, or maybe it happens first and then you clear, I don't know, but there's some type of energy, information, opportunity coming in here that could be a long time coming. It could be a message that you're giving to someone at work, or with the work, or money, or finances, or someone's giving it to you, or it just comes in general here. But yeah, it may have already happened, or it might still be coming up, right? But it's definitely in that future, current, present energies. Now, I feel like there's a lot of good luck around this, because not far away from that, remember, is the 4-leaf clover. And then we have feminine energy here with the seashell. We also have a lot of activity going on here this month. This is your busiest section. We already know that, right? But I see the bicycle is underneath the skeleton hand, and then I also see Pegasus underneath there. So with all this activity and movement, there could be something about travel this month, or even going into January, that's really busy here for you, Cancer, or just the idea of freedom and travel, that is also connected to your support system at work here, that maybe started in the past and is still going on. So your support system at work, or with the money or finances, that could be coworkers, higher ups, financial people, the bank, whatever, all the things. There's a need to go with the flow here, because that's a fish vertebrae, fish back, right? Because over time, Saturn, remember, started that energy in the past to get more serious with those things, and then bring on all of this good luck. And these vibrations and this good luck is also showing up here with the bat. And then it's like there's a leap of faith here with the frog. The frog is underneath I can't even talk anymore. Sorry, the frog is underneath the cloud charm, okay, which was underneath the alligator claw, like that, okay? And so here it's like, we got to make this leap of faith, even though it may be confusing. You or someone else has to do this here, Cancer, or it's just the energy in general. But it's really about manifesting that, and it's going to reverberate throughout your work and money and finances and being valued environment here with the spider and the spider web. So some small insect goes into the web, it shakes hard. Everybody feels it, right? And it could be a good thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? When the spider and the spider web get to insect, that's food for them, baby, right? Or protection from another insect, however it is, it's good. And so when we look this way too, when we lift up that alligator claw, we also have one of the raccoon claws going off that way. So double manifesting energy here. And on the other side, okay, just lift it up again so you can see we have the peace doves, we have the cup, we have the ship anchor, we have a piece of the armadillo vertebrae here. The the deer tooth is actually underneath the spider and the spider web. I didn't even see that at first. And then it's going and touching um, the turtle. So, what I would say here, Cancer, is that throughout the month, you or someone else with the energy is chewing over, digesting. Well, what is my work environment? What is my money environment? How can I bring this beautiful, peaceful energy here and bring in these emotions that make me feel safe within my work and finances and money environment? Because we drop our ship anchor when we need to stop our ship and we lift it when we need to go, right? And so we can definitely like see that here. And so where can we feel safe with our emotions when it comes to the work and money and the finances too? Because there's a need to go slow here and really think about where can we find that supportive energy. And maybe there's something here about keep your chin up, Cancer, because right underneath your chin for the skull is part of the armadillo vertebrae, and the armadillo has a like a hard outer shell. So it's like yeah. Even if you feel like let down about something, or you're just your energy level is down, it's like keep your chin up. Keep your chin up is what I'm hearing. So go slow, keep your chin up, and keep striving for this balance as we go back this way. We talked about it a little bit in terms of this other section, but now we're talking about it with the work or money or finances. Is like striving for that balance with the yin and yang. Okay, then you have Cupid here. So that's my symbol for loved ones. Okay, so it could be romantic love, it could be platonic love, it could be self love. It's all the loves. Okay, Cancer. And they're coming in here and they're, what are they pointing to? The arrow from Cupid is pointing to your spiritual team. They're like, oh, don't forget your spiritual team loves you too. And your spiritual team is saying no to something this month. Okay, because that's an angel here, but there's also an angel here. Even though it looks more scary, there's still angels. Okay, so what do they say? I always say it. Famous saying, God's rejection is God's protection, right? So Cancer, you may have to say no to someone or something this month, or someone or something is saying no to you. It doesn't have to be forever. It could just be for right now, but there's definitely something that needs to be cut away here with the work or money or finances or being valued, because the scissors are on top. Remember how I said before, it's like 1, 2, 3. So the feather is cleansing and clearing, the scissors is cleansing and clearing, and the no is his own sense of cleansing and clearing as well. Okay, so we need to cut something away here or replant it. That's what I was saying before when we were talking about it in terms of spiritual and conscious. I was like, it's not the right time to plant, or it's not the right kind of soil or the right weather conditions. So it's like pulling that plant out, okay, with that coin charm there. And maybe it's like the plant got too much water, or the plant needs to be by water, or something healing energy needs to be cleansed. So if there's stagnant energy at work or with the work or the money or the finances, it needs air, it needs to be by water. We need to cleanse it because there is a safety zone here, okay, with the safety pin, but it needs to be repotted and replanted and rewatered and all those things. These details, there's a friendly type of energy or a group of friends that wants to go over this here with you or help you with this, Cancer, this month. Um, they want you to be open again to listening to new ideas. You don't necessarily have to implement them yet, but just be open throughout the month to all those new ideas. And this group of friends or friendly type of energy could have something to do with the Sagittarius or during Sagittarius season that we're at until December 21st, or where you have Sagittarius in your chart, or has nothing to do with Sagittarius zodiac energy, and it's just about what are your work and money and finances and being valued goals. Where do you pull back that arrow and then hit that target, right? Because there's also something going on here with your sense of community and individual power here with the honeybee. Okay, so if again there is this no, or this thing that you have to cut out, or this energy that needs to shift and say no to for right now, it's because also that there's a lot of hardships here, deep on someone's mind in terms of work or money or finances. So if it's someone else saying no to you, or saying no in general, it could just be that they have to say no because they don't have the money, or you don't have the money, or it's not the right time, or the plant needs to be repotted with different soil and it needs to be watered, and all the kind of things that we talked about. Um, so I hope some of this is starting to make sense, or will make sense here for you. But really beautiful reading here for you, Cancer, for this month or even beyond into January, etc. But yeah, thank you guys so much for dealing with my excuse me, right on point. Dealing with my coughing and my blowing in my nose, and a little bit being sick. But yes, I'm going to post the photo for both Cancer and um, for Gemini. I was like, who did we do earlier? Yes, Gemini, in a little bit if you want to look at it again later. But thank you for your likes, your views, your subscriptions, whether it's here on YouTube or Facebook, or later eventually on Instagram or TikTok. It does really help me support my channel, since I am doing these readings for free. I appreciate anything that you would like to do, whether it's sharing this video or sending it to someone that you think might like it, etc. But yeah, anyway, guys, take care. Enjoy this time period. And again, if you celebrate any of the holidays during December, January, then happy holidays. And I'm going to take a break, and then eventually at some point be back, starting with Leo and Virgo. All right, guys, so take care. Bye bye. It seems so weird doing it this way, but bye, guys. All right, see you